Yes, guys, the stock market news live. Dow drops 1,400 points, ending in bear market. So it is official. I guess when they start to admit they are in a bear market, that you could start, putting it into day-to-day lingo. So here it is. There's the TSX down 6, lost its gain in 200 plus points. S&P 500 lost its gain in a few points. The Dow lost its gain from yesterday and maybe an extra 200 points. And then the U.S. Canadian dollar is going to be about 70 cents by the end of the week. We got crude oil down again, and we got a lot of companies going bankrupt right now. American oil companies going bankrupt and Canadian. And BTC, who cares? Move on to gold futures. Gold is down $23. Russell 2000 down. You can see a lot of hedge funds and a lot of mutual funds take beating. And then you got the 10-year bond here uptick slightly. And then NASDAQ down 392. And obviously VIX is going to be flying off the charts. And we'll wait till tonight for the other markets to open. So here it is. We are finally in a bear market. The S&P 500 and down. NASDAQ tumbled Wednesday as the volatility. Wednesday as of today, 23 minutes ago after the market closed, because I'm on the Pacific. I'm on the Pacific time zone. As the volatility of the past couple of weeks extended further. The Dow shed 1,464 points during the session, or 5.9, sending it to more than 20% below its recent high from February into a bear market. Midday Wednesday, the WHO said that the COVID outbreak, as the virus spreads across more than 100 countries and infected over 100,000 individuals, the Dow sank more than 1,200 points following that announcement. So the announcement was this morning. I'm watching it, and then I'm watching the markets. It's almost like a real-time video game type of side-by-side scenario. So you could put a split screen and watch the Dow, and then watch the guy saying the announcement, and then you see it all come into effect. Wow. Midday Wednesday, the World Health. Okay, we got that already. Stocks afternoon leg over extended declines from earlier in the regular and overnight sessions. During the pre-market sessions, stock futures slumped after White House failed to offer further details on the stimulus package. President Donald Trump earlier this week had characterized as a very major. The measure reportedly is consideration included a payroll tax cut and expanded worker protections to help counteract any economic fallout from the ongoing coronavirus outbreak. While further fiscal stimulus in the U.S. remains a point of uncertainty, overseas central banks have unleashed further monetary stimulus aimed to counteracting the economic hit from COVID. The Bank of England on Wednesday announced a surprise half-point interest rate cut at the conclusion of a special meeting following a similar move from the U.S. Federal Reserve last week. Following the spread of COVID, risky assets and commodity prices have fallen sharply, and government bond yields reached all-time lows. Consistent with the marked deterioration in risk appetite and in the outlooks of the global and UK growth, the BOE said in a statement Wednesday, indicators of financial market uncertainty have reached extreme levels. So here it is. Temporary but significant disruptions to the supply chains and weaker activity. I read an article for you guys yesterday about the ports of Vancouver, how there's like no production and there's nothing coming in. And people were just at awe with the amount. Is like, what is China doing? Why is nothing being produced? Weaker activity could challenge cash flows, increase demand for short-term credit from households, from working capital, from companies, the BOE said. This economic shock will affect both demand and supply and economy. So supply chains are getting broken down. So here it is. Here are the numbers. We went over this already. So the S&P 500 down at 142. So it's down. So it's taken its losses from yesterday. So I'm thinking that now anything that any gains in the stock market from Trump coming into office will be wiped out by this Friday, people. So the Federal Reserve Bank of New York announced Wednesday that it is increasing the size of its overnight term purchasing agreement repo operation starting Thursday, according to the statement on Wednesday. Again, repo markets are going to be back in full effect, and you know how dangerous repo markets are, especially when you start seeing repo strains. on the markets. Fed said it would offer at least $175 billion in a daily overnight repo. $175 billion! Canada doesn't even make that much money. An overnight repo. Operations starting on Thursday and continuing through April 13. Previously, Fed raised overnight offerings to $150 billion from $100 billion from Monday, March 9th through Wednesday, at least $45 billion in 2-week term. Repo operations twice a week during the March 12th through 13 period will also be offered. Wow. So they're saying these operations are intended to ensure that supply of the reserves remain ample to mitigate the risk of money market pressures that could adversely affect the policy implementation. Guys, you know what? This is pretty bad because even I think all the money on the planet won't bail out these markets anymore. This is really bad. This is getting to a point where we are at a point of no return where they're going to have to call a spade and accept defeat. They're going to have to accept defeat. We're going to have to go into we are in a recession. We're going to have to move into a depression, and that's what's going to happen. So so the Dow plummeted more than 20% from its recent closing on the high of February intraday session. We covered that already. And the 30 stock index would enter a bear market. We already covered that already. So that's what's happening, guys. We are looking at a huge meltdown in the markets. Guys, don't forget to join the channel if you want. Maybe pick up something cool from our Teespring store. Here it is here, guys. Pretty cool stuff on Teespring. So if you want to shop Mike Martin's, guys, all kinds of cool stuff here. 10% code. Guys, the 10% off code is, oh man, I think it's March. I have it here. Hold on a sec. It's under community. I'm sorry, guys. The 10% off code, if you guys want to pick something up, 10% March Flash. March Flash is the 10% promo code if you guys want to pick something up at the Mike Martin shop. Guys, let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you guys are feeling. Let's bring this down to earth now. Let's start discussing, let's start calling spades a spades and it's reflecting now in the markets, and anything that reflects in the markets negatively, especially with repo injections and quantitative easing and stimulus. Australia did stimulus 2 days ago. Because of that, and it's still failing, we need to surrender and put our hands up and say, that's it, it's over. Let's fix this problem. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to join the channel, buy a mug, and see you guys soon on Trends in the Housing Market Tonight Live.